Hello everyone. So now moving forward, please allow me to welcome our industry expert, Mr. Manoj Rustagi, Executive Vice President, Sustainability and Innovation, Business Strategy and CapEx Projects, JSW Cement, for an exclusive fireside chat and share his views on how JSW Cement looks forward to contribute towards a sustainable construction environment in the sector. Welcome, Mr. Rustagi. Thank you, Mr. Rustagi, for joining us on this esteemed panel. Mr. Rustagi, my first question to you would be, now that JSW is committed to deliver these futuristic and sustainable solutions, what steps did you take to make it a success?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you, Megha, for having me. So I am basically from JSW Cement, and we manufacture building materials. Let me take a step back and explain, where the concrete industry and cement industry is today. So globally, cement industry accounts for approximately 7% of the carbon emission which happen. And this is one of the hard to abate sectors, considering the CO2 is coming from the calcination of limestone, which is the raw material used for manufacturing cement products. Now there are many levers which are existing today, and which can reduce the carbon dioxide coming out from the cement manufacturing process. And specifically JSW Cement, in the last 5 to 7 years, we have taken definitive steps to reduce the CO2 emission per ton of cementitious material, whatever we produce, manufacture, and sell. So the first of the lever, which is the most important and relevant lever, is to use the supplementary cementitious material. Now, if we look at the process of cement manufacturing, we start with limestone and then we put it into a kiln, take it to 1400 degrees centigrade, and then cool it down. And we use coal as energy for heating up the kiln and for doing the chemical reaction which happens in the kiln, and the CO2 which comes from the calcium carbonate. So the best way, what I was saying, is the supplementary cementitious material is to reduce the clinker itself in the final cement which we take it to the market. So we are using blast furnace slag, which is a waste product coming from the steel plants, and we are also using fly ash, which is coming as a waste from the thermal power plants. And both these materials, BF slag and fly ash, they both have intrinsic cementitious properties. So though they are industrial waste and there is no use, from the industries where they are coming from, there is a value which is there to these materials when we use it as cementitious material along with clinker. There are standards in India, both for the slag cement and the fly ash cement, PSC and PPC, and there is a composite cement also. So these standards allow us to use the cementitious material, and there the CO2 emission goes down drastically because in this waste material there is no CO2, and we replace so much of the clinker with the cementitious material. We also conserve limestone in the process. We also conserve thermal energy. We reduce the electrical energy consumption per ton of cement, and we also reduce the consumption of water. So in a nutshell, limestone is saved, energy is saved, water is saved, and also the CO2 is reduced substantially when we use this cementitious material. We also sell GGBS as a product, which is a ground granulated blast furnace slag, which is used by the commercial RMCs and by the different in situ projects. to use a site mixing along with the OPC, the conventional cement. And that is also, reducing the CO2 footprint. So, so specifically for us, the sustainability, if you look at it, and the sustainability when we say carbon emission, being the major KPI to quantify, we work sincerely, to reduce the specific CO2 emission burden of cement. There are a lot of other things and other steps, which we have taken. Uh, we work on uh, we are working right now. We are implementing in three of our sites waste heat recovery projects. So we will be using the waste heat coming out of the process plant to generate power. Up to 70% of the power requirement for the clinker plant is going to be generated through these waste heat recovery plants, and that is how, the conservation of the energy is going to be there, which is the 70%, which is a major substantial chunk. We are also co-processing alternative fuels like biomass, municipality waste, RDF, used tires, and carbon black. So these alternative fuels, we substitute coal, otherwise, which is used in the process plant. And we are substituting in one of our plants in Nandyal, we are substituting up to 15% of the total coal with the alternative fuels. We are using alternative materials also as part of the raw mix, and we process SPL, we process red mud, we process steel slag. So these alternative materials are also co-processed, to reduce the consumption of the limestone and thereby reduce the carbon footprint. So these are the major levers, the company is working on right now. And we are happy to share that JSW specific carbon intensity is almost 1/3 of the global average. So that way we have got a leadership position in terms of the carbon intensity. Thank
Right. As you rightly mentioned about some of the initiatives of the company in terms of sustainability and saving the environment, there are certain other issues that JSW has taken in terms of contributing towards achieving the net zero in the long run. If you could elaborate those initiatives for us.
Yes, so Mega, so the some of the levers, I just explained, which are going to lead us to net zero. That is to use the cementitious material to generate power and energy, from the waste heat, and also co-process alternative fuel and alternative raw materials. Other than these levers, we have a in-house state-of-the-art R&D facility, which is continuously working on process improvements, continuously working on new product developments, which are low carbon products. So recently we have launched construction chemicals last year, and these are also slag based. So these are some of the greenest construction chemicals, which are available in the market. We have also gone into the commercial RMC space. There also we are using substantial quantity of the GGBS as per the standard to get a superior quality product and also get a low carbon product. So for us, the net zero, if you really think about it, the journey to the net zero for us is it has to make economic sense. It has to promote circularity across industries. And at the same time, it has to produce better quality products. There is a combination of all, which actually is going to make it the journey towards the net zero, more sustainable. And it is really, difficult to believe that how do you make economically greener products, but that is what, the challenge is, and that is what, we work on. So we want to make greener products, but we want to make it economical, because that makes it more sustainable. uh, there are a lot of other initiatives, which we are working on. New products like geopolymer cement, which is going to be clinker free cement. New products like LC3, which is these are LC3 is there are projects happening in Europe and Africa. So a couple of projects, are under implementation right now, under construction, and we are seriously looking at that new product for the Indian market. We are also looking at carbon capture eventually, which is going to be needed to achieve net zero. So Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister has committed in the COP26 last year that India is going to be targeting net zero by 2070. And we are very much geared, to achieve net zero before that. Our internal target is 2050, and we are working towards it.
That's very interesting, Mr. Rustagi. If I could ask you, could you also share the roadmap to the plan of, expanding your production capacity and how that is aligned with India's sustainable development agenda? And besides, which are the new products which are environment friendly that you are working on?
Yeah. So Megha, if you look at it, JSW Cement, we are a very young company. We incorporated in 2009. The actual production started coming in 2012, 2013. So in the last 9 years, 9 to 10 years, we have practically gone from zero to close to 16 million tons today as on date. So the company has grown in the last 10 years. We see there is a demand and there is a appetite for the low carbon products, for the green products in the Indian market, and that is what we really want to build in, and that is how our expansion plans are. In the next decade or so, we want to double up the whatever we are producing today, double up that capacity, and also at the same time, reduce the carbon. So India, with the focus on the infrastructure, with the focus on the housing, focus on roads, there is a story in India for sustainable products, and that is what our business strategy is, to align to the India growth story, and we also grow, in alignment in producing, environment friendly products, sustainable products, low carbon products, the whole transition into the low carbon economy. So we believe growth is good. Growth is good because it allows us to incorporate and practice new technologies which are aligned with the low carbon economy, because these are the plants which are going to be done new, and we are going to be setting it up now. So from the day one, we will make it the low carbon products, take the best of the state of the art technologies, the latest cutting edge technologies. We are working with IITs. We are working with some research institutes in Germany and Korea. We are also working with our technology partners to ensure that we get the best solutions when we put up a new plant, and this is aligned with the low carbon economy. To give you one example, I mean, when we started manufacturing slag cement in the southern part of India, the people had reservations, but over a period of time, they are very happy, with the quality of the product. They are very happy, with the specific applications. Even in Mumbai, some of the coastal applications, slag cement offers intrinsic benefits, in terms of the sulfate resistance, chemical attacks, and all that, and the latest strength. So it's a better product, for specific applications. We are working, as I just said, we're working on geopolymer, we're working on LC3. We are also working on a cement, which is a super sulfated cement, which is very good for dams and irrigation projects, for mass concreting projects. In fact, that gives a life which is better than any other type of the cement, and it is a very low carbon product. So we will be working on that also. We have done the lab scale test. The results are very, very good, and we will be commercializing it in the next 1 year.
So it was wonderful talking to you, and we wish you all the best in your endeavors towards sustainable future. So thank you very much for your time, and
Thank
you for
you,
sharing your
Megha, for
insights.
having me. Thank you very much. Thank you. It was nice talking to you. Thank you. Yeah.